Let me introduce you to another couple from my book, Betrayal and Forgiveness. Meet Greta and Van. When Greta, now 50, was a 12-year-old child, her father had sexually abused her by groping her on 3 occasions. The first time, she told herself it was some kind of accidental touching, but the second time she realized it was intentional and she froze with fear and confusion. The third time, she pushed his hand away and ran from the room. She didn't say anything to her mother, but from that time on, Greta avoided being alone with her father. She did tell her mother about it when Greta was 22, but her mother refused to believe it and that it had happened the way Greta remembered it. She never talked to her father about it. Greta married Van when she was 25 and Van was 27. Van soon noticed that Greta's relationship with her parents was strained, but didn't think much about it. Greta had said simply that her parents were difficult. Greta and Van moved to another state and would see her parents once or twice a year for brief visits. They never had children by mutual agreement. Now, Greta's parents are both in their late 70s and still together. Her father has become frail and her mother struggles to care for him. Greta has no siblings. Her visits to her parents have become more frequent in the past year as she tries to help them find assistance. A few months ago, Van and Greta were watching a TV movie that had a scene of a father sexually molesting his daughter. Greta started sobbing, and Van asked her what was happening. She hesitantly told him about her father's molesting her and her mother's disbelieving her. What brought them to couples therapy? Since Greta told Van what had happened, he would become enraged when Greta said she was going to visit her parents. And his anger wasn't only directed at Greta's parents. He felt betrayed by Greta's keeping the secret from him for decades. He knew he should be supportive, but couldn't suppress his feelings of hurt and couldn't understand why Greta would still feel an obligation to help her parents. From Greta's perspective, Van's reaction simply reinforced the fear that had kept her from telling Van about the molestation years ago. Not only had she been betrayed by each of her parents, now she was being emotionally abandoned by her husband. They love each other and want to stay together. Want to find out what happened to Greta and Van? Read the book and stay tuned to this channel for more of the couples and more about betrayal and forgiveness.